know him well. I've seen him downstairs a lot of times. Just an outstanding personality. Always had a smile on his face. Just a very good man. And I wanted to welcome comments from the deputies that are on the commission as well.
You go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. I say, yeah, Rob, Deputy Johnson, he was a great partner, I guess you'd say, in law enforcement. He worked at the courthouse a lot. He was on patrol before, but mainly a lot of things he did was at the courthouse and here as well. But Deputy Johnson has a daughter that's 14 years old, and so she's been left behind, well, with him, but with his parents. So, there's a lot of sadness that goes in with that. But I do know that I had the opportunity to talk with Deputy Johnson whenever he got this, and I do know that he is in heaven with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So that's most important to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good to hear.
Chairman, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask the commission to dedicate this meeting of Houston County Commission Administrative Meeting, February the 5th, 2026, to Deputy Rob Johnson. And if you don't mind, I'd like to read the post that was posted by the Houston County Sheriff's Office. I had the privilege of supervising Rob for several years on patrol and also in the court system. And Rob was one of those dedicated employees that showed up to work, that did his work, that worked with everybody to the best of his ability. This is the post that was put out yesterday afternoon by the Houston County Sheriff's Office. It is with deep sadness that we announce the passing of Deputy Rob Johnson, who bravely fought a courageous battle with cancer. Deputy Johnson began his law enforcement career on January the 18th, 2005, and dedicated more than 2 decades of his life to serving and protecting the citizens of Houston County. Rob was the kind of deputy every agency hopes for: professional, dependable, and deeply committed to his duty. More importantly, he was a friend to everyone he met, always willing to help, listen, or lend a hand. Rob truly loved serving his community and took great pride in wearing the badge. His impact reached far beyond the walls of our department and into the lives of the citizens he served each and every day. And it is asked that you please keep Deputy Johnson's family's friends and his law enforcement family in your thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Before we come in here, I know the funeral arrangements had not been posted or anything, but as soon as they get posted, we'll be sure to get it put out.
We greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate Rob's service to the citizens of the county. I know sometimes stuff like that goes unnoticed, but every job that we have in the county is extremely important. Every position we have is extremely important, especially law enforcement that keeps us safe, keeps the citizens safe. So
one more thing.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to, I still want to keep the Blake Bowen family in your prayers. It's a sad tragedy. But he graduated from Rehoboth and his family's from Ashford. So it's kind of a outstanding. And I never got a chance to meet him but one time, but I never heard nothing negative about him. And he was making things happen in life.
Yeah.
Just keep them in your prayers.
Greatly appreciate those comments. I think it would be appropriate today to observe just a moment of silence about these funerals. If you don't mind, please bow with me. Thank you for that. All right. Just a reminder, some days we think we got problems, think short on cash or high on problems. But as long as we have our health, as long as our family's healthy, we really don't have problems. So it's just a good reminder of that. Nothing else. But anyway, I just hate it for those families. We're going to move on to much less serious matters.
Yes.
To put it all in perspective, we do have one item under awards and presentations proposed for the agenda: the proclamation for Career and Technical Education Month. Chris Kennedy, Houston County Career and Technical Houston County Career and Technical Education Director Chris Kennedy will be here today. Not today, or Monday to talk about that. So, any objections to placing that item on the agenda?
No objection.
Okay.
Also, Dutton City will be here as well.
Okay, good.
Ryan Richards, the director.
Who?
Ryan Richards.
Oh, Ryan. Yeah.
And there'll be 16. We have a room full on Monday. There'll be 16, one from each component of CTE will be here.
Okay,
Welding and cosmetology.
good. Well, if there's no objection, let's put Chris Kennedy and Ryan Richards on the agenda for today. Item number one under the regular agenda is request to make appointments to the Southeast Alabama Regional Council on Aging Board. So this, what is being proposed to the commission is to reappoint everybody currently appointed by Houston County. Each county gets 3 appointments. Myself is one of those appointments. Mr. Glenn Malloy, I believe a lot of you know, a longtime educator, and then Donna West is also a member of that board. So any questions or comments on those nominations? Any objection to renominate or putting that on the agenda for Monday to renominate those people?
No objection.
Item number 2 is a request to adopt a resolution for the Brownfield Tax Abatement Project for Southeast Alabama Community Players Incorporated. I see we have Mr. Colton here today. So Colton, come educate us on this project. Always great to see you, and looking forward to some good announcements next week, I believe, as well.
Yeah, is this okay? Here it is. Yes, a lot of good news coming up Monday, and we'll let you guys share that. So this particular project is the SEACT facility. So as you guys know, they are transitioning to a new home here in the near future. So they have some property on South Foster Street, and they're going to be renovating one of those buildings for their new home. There's not a lot of tools in the toolbox when you think about helping commercial development wise and things like that. So one of those tools that we have is what we call the ADEM Brownfield program. And it's a program administered by ADEM. So you can imagine the environmental due diligence that you have to do when you go through that process to qualify for it. So they have done that. They've been accepted into the program. Once they've been accepted like they have, the benefits are allows them to receive some property tax abatements and sales and use tax abatements on the local level for construction materials and all those things as they're renovating this facility. So when we do this, the city commission and the county commission has to approve that. So the city commission approved this at their meeting on Tuesday this week. So we were hoping to put this on the agenda for you guys for the upcoming meeting. And it's just a great show of support as we continue to redevelop some of these older buildings downtown that need a lot of love, need to be repurposed. And we're just fortunate to have a group like SEAC willing to spend those dollars to be able to make that happen. So that's really in a nutshell what the ADEM Brownfield program is.
Okay. This is 909 South St. Andrews.
This is 251 South Foster Street.
I think what their office and those at 909.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's where they are.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the mailing address. But the project site is 251 South Foster. So if you are standing on the front steps of Mural City, looking across the street, look to the right, and it's one of those first buildings that you see that they own.
Okay. Any questions, comments,
No, sir.
Mr. Curriton? Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item number 3 is a request to approve resolution to extend temporary change of polling place for voters of Cottonwood Community Room. Judge Davenport, there he is. I think we've already approved this once. This is just to extend it. Any comments that you want to make?
No, as you're aware, the damage to the facility from the January 2024 tornado, they've made great strides in making modifications, restorations, improvements to that. However, they are not as far down the path as they had hoped to be. They anticipate by early summer this should be done, but we just are not confident.
Yeah.
They're not confident that it'll be done for the May, June primary runoff possibility. So what we're asking is just to extend. We also have in your package a letter from Pastor White confirming their willingness at Calvary Baptist Church in Cottonwood on Metcalf Street to allow us to use that as a facility. We did that in 24, and we'd like to do that again with the anticipation that we'll cross the bridge, whether they're done by the general election in November or whether we need to ask for that extension as well. But we feel confident by the 28th cycle, Cottonwood will be ready.
Yeah.
And a great facility from what it looks like.
I know a lot of churches have stepped up and allowed you to conduct.
They've been so gracious, and most of the churches that we have talked with, they just want to be good community members.
Yeah.
And they all have family life centers or something of that nature, gyms that are really appropriate particularly when you get out in the county. They're not government buildings or facilities that are appropriate size, particularly in the growth areas of our county. So yeah, we've had several step up and do that. Most recently, Rehoboth Baptist Church, they've got a large gymnasium, and I live out in that area, and it is just such a growing area. We've noticed over the last couple of years, it's just difficult to service all the folks that vote in the town hall.
Yeah.
And I think I would have liked to have stayed in the town hall, but it just wasn't feasible based on the volume. So great community members in these various churches. And likewise, we're not sending anybody into the sanctuary to vote. They're in a separate facility, a fellowship hall or family life center.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we're grateful for their willingness to allow us to use it.
absolutely. I'm grateful for Pastor White making his space available, as I'm sure you are. And I
Yes.
appreciate the great job that you do. I know we've had a lot of conversations about polling locations, and you just take this job very seriously, and greatly appreciate the time and attention that you and your staff put.
Well, I'm just going to acknowledge Angie,
Absolutely.
Heather, Jenny. They are really the brains behind it all.
Yeah. Any questions for the judge? Comments?
Very thankful to the Calvary Church. Like I said, they stepped up. Union Hill stepped up through all of the tornado and are taking care of the issues that we have with senior citizens out there.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think it'll be really nice once they're completed.
We're all looking forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Judge. Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 4 is a request to approve $28,440 from the Jail Pods Addition Fund to perform boundary and topographic survey for the jail property. So, as you gentlemen know, the last couple of years, we've set aside $500,000 in the budget for what was termed future jail expansion. Well, the future jail expansion is quickly approaching. So,
Mhm.
proposal here is to request to use $28,440 of that money that has already been set aside for the expansion of the jail to do the first phase, really, in the process, which is we need to have a good survey so we know what kind of layout that we're building on. So that's what this proposal is for. This is not coming out of the general fund, so to speak. So this is money that's already been set aside for this purpose. Stacy, any comments? Was that clear? That's accurate. Okay. All right. Any questions on this item?
No, sir.
Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 5 is a request to approve budget amendment in the amount of $25,000 for renovation and improvements to sanitation billing department building. Tommy's not here. Why don't you handle this one?
Okay, this money is, as you know, we're renovating the part of the farm center, one of the buildings out there in front of the farm center for the sanitation billing area. This is just to enhance the front, and we have this money is in sanitation, so it's not coming out of the general fund. And as you know, sanitation fund is restricted, so it can only be used for sanitation purposes. We did have money in the budget to do the renovations, but this is just to finish the outside of it and make it ADA compliant, look good since we done the farm center.
Mhm.
So the money is coming out of sanitation and not the general fund.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this will really enhance the look. I mean, that whole property has been more or less an eyesore for a number of years, and we talked about it, every project we do seems to come in a little bit higher than what we hope, but if we're gonna do it, I think we just need to do it right, because we probably won't come back and do it later, and the building will still be an eyesore. So I think this really would do a good job of enhancing, and that building is gonna be used for many years So might as well go ahead and do it now versus do it later. Any questions or comments on this item?
No, sir.
Any objection to placing this item on the agenda?
No objection.
Item number 6 is a request from the Houston County Water Authority to assist in clearing along the State Line Road for installation of a 16-inch water line. Mr. County Engineer.
This is just the original place they wanted to put the water line. There's a lot of utilities there that are in the way. So they've obtained an 8-foot easement, to put it on, it'll clear it. They've asked us to do it, so.
Any questions, comments on this item?
No, sir.
Any objection to placing this item on? No. So that's the last item on the proposed agenda. So we do have a privilege to full, but before we get to that, any other items to be considered for the agenda for Monday by the commission?
No, sir.
All right. So we'll move on to privileges